So as we saw from our experiment in the tent, the zero breeze will definitely keep an area cold and make it really nice. The problem comes in with the amount of time that it'll do that. And it'll do that 5 hours, even 6 hours at a nice temperature. But if you go to bed at 7 at night, right, by what, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna be hot and sweaty. You've still got a lot of nighttime to go. Really want to get that zero breeze to last all night. And the only way to do that is to run it at the lowest setting. We want to be able to run it at the sleep mode, and it'll last 7 to 8 hours. The way to create that smaller space is a couple things you can do. One is just run the hose under a blanket with you under there too. I'm going to look at another method. The Mondo King. It's a big mattress, 80 inches, 30 inches. So if we can create something around this to capture that cold air and we can get it in the tent, that would be very cool for sleeping. Rather than go through the whole measuring and build process, I'm just going to show you what I came up with. It's very simple. Just by looking at it, you can figure it out yourself, obviously. So what we have here is just a PVC frame, nothing fancy. I actually had pipe laying around, that's why I used 1.5 inches. All right, we have the same 4 blankets that we had before, and we got 4 of these big clamps that'll go over that 1.5 inch pipe. It's probably a better insulative material you could use, but this will work for what I need. There we have it, the enclosed sleeping chamber. It's a little scary, but it gives you a space. Okay, so we've created this little insulated sleeping area, and the hope is that the zero breeze at the lowest setting will last all night on 1 battery and keep this area really cool so that camping is possible in this crazy heat. Let's give it a try. All right, we have the framework inside the tent. Goes in pretty easy. Still have room over here for a table and chairs. We'll be running the zero breeze at the lowest setting, the sleep mode, all night. We wanted to get it to last that 8 hours of sleeping time, so it'll be a good test evening for a summer evening in the heat. And here we have the new setup. Check it out. We've got a cover over the bed. Got a chair and table still. Of course, this evening we'll close up these windows. Not that it matters that much. And we'll also put our rainfly on. Underneath here, see where the vent comes in? This is where we'll be sleeping. And we'll be watching the temperature. And we'll be watching how long the zero breeze provides a nice cool atmosphere for camping. All right, it is nearly 7 o'clock, and we are going to start this experiment at 7 o'clock in just a couple minutes. The temperature inside the sleeping area is about 88 degrees right now, and 85 degrees outside here. If we can get it to sit at 75 degrees, that would be wonderful. Okay. Here's what it is now 7 o'clock. We have turned on the zero breeze. We're running in the sleep mode with 1 bar of fan, the lowest setting we can possibly run it on. Okay, it's a couple minutes after 7. It's 87 inside the sleeping area, 84 outside here. We will check back in 1 hour. All right, we are 1 hour in. It is 8 o'clock. The temperature inside the sleeping area we created is 74 degrees. That's awesome. It says the temperature out here is 80. I had this little 5x7 tarp, and I threw it on top just to add a little more insulation. It's interesting because there's as much leakage of cool air coming into the tent feels really good. It feels really, it's amazing. We're actually cooling the tent mainly because the way the air conditioner is set up, it's pulling air from inside the tent and then blowing it into the sleeping area. I don't know what we want to call this thing. The sleeping chamber. Anyway, we're blowing air into this area, but we're not pulling any out, so it's just leaking out everywhere as it blows in there, which is fine because, boy, the tent itself feels really good. Let's take a look inside. Thermometer, vent, light. Feels really chilly in there, actually. It's now 9 o'clock, and we are 2 hours into our test run. Temperature inside the sleeping area is 69 degrees. We're at about 78.8 or 79 degrees, 81% humidity out here. Now I'm thinking that if it's this chilly, if it's down to 70, I would think you could turn off the air conditioner intermittently. It doesn't have a thermostat, you know, to really make that air conditioning battery last, which is what we're after. I'm not going to shut it down tonight. I'm going to let it run non-stop. All right, let's get out of here. All right, it is 10 o'clock. We are now 3 hours into our test. 69 degrees in the sleeping area. Looks like we have 4 bars of power left. So in the first 3 hours, we've only used, 1 bar. I'm not sure what that increment is, but that's what we've done. Some very cold air coming out of here. The sleeping capsule. All right, it is 11 o'clock. 69 degrees inside the sleeping area. It is midnight. 12 o'clock. 5 hours into the test. The temperature in the sleeping area is 68. Really nice. It's been 5 hours, and we are showing we still have 4 bars of power left. It is 6 a.m. and we are starting the air conditioner up again right now. 77 inside and outside. All right, we are back in sleep mode with only 1 bar of fan. 7 o'clock. We've been running for 6 hours. Temperature inside 68. 8 o'clock in the morning. 66 degrees inside that sleeping area. 78 degrees outside. She's running fine and sounding good. It's nice and cool in here. Oh my gosh. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. The temperature inside the sleeping area is 68 degrees. The temperature is climbing outside here fast. It's 83 degrees already. The vent's still blowing cold air. Let's see how many power levels we got left. We're still showing 2 bars. The inside of the tent was getting pretty hot, so I went ahead and took the rain fly off, unzipped the windows, and it is now 9:30 in the morning. We are 8.5 hours into our test, holding 71 degrees in the sleeping area. It is now 84 degrees outside. I just checked the power level, and at this 8.5 hour mark, we are now showing a blinking final light. So I expect the unit to shut off very soon. The zero breeze has just shut off. The test is now over. Our final time, 8 hours and 36 minutes. 8.5 hours of cool nighttime temperatures. I think that that was a success. In conclusion, we got 8.5 hours of zero breeze run time, running it at the lowest level, the sleep mode, 1 fan bar, and running it within a enclosed sleeping area. Will actually get you through the night, even on the hottest nights, I think. I should point out that you don't have to run it non-stop. That when it gets pretty cool, or the evening air is cool enough, you can shut it off and retain that power for the next day. And use the zero breeze more as a personal cooler by simply aiming the vent pipe at wherever you're sitting. It works great for that too. Actually designed to be a personal cooler of that type. Okay, our next adventure is going to be in the heat of summer. We're going to get there late in the day. We're going to set up the tent pretty close to sunset. We're going to run the zero breeze at night to stay cool and have the most fun in the morning hours, where we're going to be the first beachcomber on the national seashore. We hope.
It's alright. It's okay. Chris is traveling today.
yeah, baby.
It's all